Hi everyone, my name is Gagandeep Singh and this is my applied activity 7 for business 1111 subject and today I am talking about the impact of sleep quality and duration on academic performance among college students and uh, and uh, and I'll share about all the past studies and what I found in my own small classes studies and what the results suggest for students and college. And on this slide, I will discuss the research problem. As we all know, students are very busy on their by and by using the phones a lot, and sometimes they also stay up very late. And my main question was how do sleep quality and sleep duration relate to stress and grades, and uh, and I also wanted to see if screen time plays a role in poor sleep and it also like a turn in how uh, that may affect the learning uh, institutions and on the third slide I will discuss the research ethics and here is the my certificate of completion and I successfully completed the course of on research ethic based on the Tri Council policy statement, ethical conduct for research involving human, and as we I got approval from my professor, and the participants also saw consent form. The participants was voluntary and no personal names were collected and the responses were kept anonymous and people could stop at any time as their preference and on the next slide I will discuss secondary research article 1 and here's the reference and Wu and colleagues studied Chinese college students and found that low physical activity plus the higher screen time were linked with more mental health problems and worse sleep. And I think this supports the idea that the heavy screen time can hurt the sleep quality as well as their mental health, and the poor sleep may affect the mood and focus both, and because both are important for their academic performance. On this slide, I will discuss the secondary research article 2, and here's the reference that I provided to you. And it shows that Twig and Campbell looked at the large US data sets and found that more screen time was associated with low psychological well-being in young people, and it shows a clear link between the high screen time and poor mental health in students, and this helps to support the data that too much screen use can hurt their well-being, and the study was mainly focused on kids and teenagers in general, not only college students but also it used parent reports instead of students' own opinions. And the next question I will discuss like the first article. It also finds the screen time can negatively affect the mental health of both by limiting screen time use that can improve students' mental wellness, and lower well-being often shows up as stress, trouble sleeping, and less motivation, things that can harm study habits and grades. And on the next slide, I will discuss a secondary research article 3. And here's the reference of this Sama and Harvey 2020 Computers in Human Behavior. Uh, Sama and Harvey found that smartphone addiction was tied to higher stress, lower academic performance, and lower life satisfaction. And this also suggested that no one just that the total hours, but also we can use the smartphone constant checking like late night scrolling the and using social media like Instagram, YouTube, and that can disturb the sleep and study routine, and and I think it uses the word addiction uh, by everyone, because while my question is more general about screen time, and all these three articles agree that overusing screen time of phone leads to stress, poor health, and grades. And on the next slide, I will discuss a primary method, and here's the questionnaire in Microsoft Forms, and and there are one question for consent and two demographic questions and eight subject specific question on mental health. And you can also click here to view the full questionnaire or scan the QR code. And I used a short Microsoft Form questionnaire, and this survey took just a few minutes, and all items were simple and student friendly also. And on the next slide, I will discuss the course based research process. And this was approved by my professor to conduct research on students at Cambrian College. And it was a small scale, so the goal wasn't about to prove the cause and effect, but it also explore the patterns that matches or differ different from the published research. And on this slide, I will discuss the recruitment, and I use this method because it's a convenient sample, and the sample size was about 23 students, and the population all full-time students at the Barrydown campus of Cambrian College. And I used the convenience sample, as I mentioned, I shared a digital poster with the classmate at all the college students, and asks them to fill out the form on their smartphone or laptop. And we ended up with 23 responses. The larger population would be all full-time students on campus. And on this slide, I will discuss a research questionnaire theme, open form. The open comments three times stood out, and many students use their phones late at night, especially for social media or videos. And the students who sleep less often feel tired in morning classes and need sleep. And the several students connect stress with racing thoughts at the bedtime, which makes it harder to fall asleep. As the 13 people are agreed that a number of students were effect on straight screen time on mental health. And the both disagree and neutral, the 1%, and 4% are strongly agree, and 1% are also strongly agree to effect on screen time on mental health. And on this slide, I will discuss the result of qualitative examples. Comments are also mentioned in blue light screens and late night studying. A few students said that they sleep better when they follow a set routine, keeps the phone away from the bed, or avoiding caffeine in the evening. Overall, the comment matches what the past studies suggest. And this chart also shows how you feel that screen time affects your mood. And the and on the next slide, I will discuss the results of quantitative patterns. And even with only 23 responses, it like the data shows a sample pattern. The students who reported better sleep quality also reported better focus in class. The students who reported more late night screen time are also reported more daily time tiredness. And the age group of 20 to 23 are agree for these results, which is about 9%. And 80 to 20 years are less likely to agree on this point, 8%. and 23 to 26% of students are agree on which was about 3% around, and this is not a proof of cause because it's consistent with this literature. And on the next slide I will discuss a conclusion and recommendations based on the literature, and these small findings are there are 5 steps which I will discuss. And the first step is the limit recreational screen time, especially at night. It reduces the stress, improves sleep quality, and boosts academic performance among students. And the next point is to encourage the balanced technology using by combining digital activities with physical exercise and offline social interactions. And on the third point, the educators and institutions should promote awareness by doing campaign on the impact of excessive screen time on mental health and learning. And this also implement the digital well-being tools, for example the app timers, focus modes, which helps students to manage the usage of device. And it also keep a regular sleep schedule even on weekends. And it also creates study blocks that are phone are free to improve focus. And they also support healthy study habits by setting technology free periods, especially before sleep, to improve focus and retention. And on this slide I will discuss the conclusions and further research. And for this future we can do a longer study across semester to see how sleep and grades can change over time. And we can compare different groups, different programs, or even different campuses on over their countries. And on this I will discuss the 4 points to the first point is conduct longitudinal studies to establish causal links between screen time and academic performance over time. And it also explores the differences in screen time impacts the cross-cultural and educational context, like for example Canada versus China. And it also investigates the role of screen content type, like educational versus entertainment, on mental health and academic stress. And this slide point also shows the examine how hybrid learning environment influence their overall screen exposure and student well-being. And assess the effectiveness of interventions, for example the mindfulness program, digital detox challenges in reducing negative outcome of excessive screen use. And we can also test solutions like a blue light filters, mindfulness, or digital detox challenges to see what actually happens. And thank you for listening. If you have any question or any doubt, or want to see the questionnaire, feel free to ask me. And my student number is 800320123. And for any question please contact the research team at here's my link that I mentioned. The link is 800320123 at the date mycampaign.ca. Here's my student ID number. And thank you professor, thank you everyone for listening my video.